Welcome to Palmview. It's a lovely day for painting. Come sit by me at the painting table. So I bought a new camera that's really small and I can attach it to my magnifying glass. So that's made it easier to record my painting, but it's also kind of blurry. Later in the video, I went back to using my big overhead camera, which is clearer for you to see, but it's much harder for me to paint. So I'm still working out a solution. I want you to be able to see in detail what I'm doing, but it has to be something so that I can still easily paint. By the way, I know I mumble sometimes, so you can turn on the captions if you're having trouble understanding me. This little guy I'm working on today, I've been using him to demonstrate brushes, and so he's kind of all over the place with his hair. It really just needs to be cleaned up, add more texture. So first thing I'm going to do is use a microfiber towel to wipe him down, just to make sure if there's any bits of lint that those don't get painted in. Okay. I'm going to start with a extra small triangle brush to add more texture, but I think I'm also going to experiment with this 1/8 inch filbert grainer and maybe see if the two of them together adds a variety of texture. So he was painted with Ultimate Fusion Brown, and then the dark bits I had added a bit of primary blue. So that's what I'm going to do now, is mix up some of that. Got some brown. I think maybe I'll just start with a drop of brown. Ultimate Fusion Blend Flow. I do want it pretty thin. I put 3 drops in because I do want it to be able to flow nicely. And then for the blue, I'm just going to put it off to the side so that I can just grab a tiny... So I can just grab a tiny bit. Tiny bit. Mix that in. That's still a little too thick for me. I kind of want it to not be sticking to the wall of the palette like that. I think I'll put another drop of blend flow. Okay, we'll give that a try. And then after I go over it with these larger brushes, I'm going to finish off with a skinny brush. I've already done some skinny brush on here, like by the swirl. But I don't want to move completely to a skinny brush yet. So areas like this I want to fill in first with a larger brush. So, let's see. There's still a few little marks on this. I'm gonna try to get off. Last time I painted him, the humidity was 44. I have my little humidity reader, and today I opened the windows in the morning and got it up to 61. When the humidity is super low, it kind of creates this static so that whatever's floating around in the air will stick onto your wet paint. So for me, lower humidity is better. Or, I mean, higher humidity is better for me. And then there's a few little things I think I want to get off with a toothpick. So that they don't ruin my hair design. No fun to have little lint pieces in your hair design. Now that's okay. That took a bit of paint off, but I will fix that. So yeah, after every layer I do a check, and I will remove these little linty pieces. Just wipe them off on a paper towel. I also have a humidifier I can turn on if I need, but I like it better when I can just open the windows and get some humidity in the house. Helps my throat feel better, helps my skin not be itchy, so I'm a fan. Okay, I think he's ready. Alright, so I also have my erasers. I've got little pieces of cosmetic sponge cut up that I can dip in water to erase mistakes, and also little microblading swabs. And those are ready for erasing. Alright. See how well I do with this camera setup. It's kind of a new thing. Let's see, where do I want to start? Okay, this is kind of, you know, it doesn't have enough texture here. So, let's paint and chat. First thing I want to chat about is acrylic eyes. Now, at the end of my eyelash rooting tutorial, I went on a real rant against acrylic eyes, and I would like to apologize for that rant. Because it turns out I am just a big eyeball snob. I love collecting eyes. I love the best eyes. But that's just me, and there's nothing wrong with using acrylic eyes, especially when you're starting out, when you're trying to keep your materials low, when you're doing, you know, budget babies, and especially now when it seems to be kind of harder to sell, you might need to lower the price, and that is one way you can do that, is with acrylic eyes. And there are some really nice ones. I particularly like the dark blue kind or green. When it comes to dark brown, I really like glass eyes or resin eyes, because you just don't get the deep brown in the acrylic eyes in all the ones I've tried. So for those, I really like glass eyes, but you know, nothing wrong with using the acrylic eyes. So I wish I could just delete that part of the video. I also have a HEPA filter that I run before I paint, but you know, there's always a little bit of lint anyway. Don't know why. Maybe because I'm wearing fuzzy pajamas. Let me show you. Fuzzy pajamas. But it's chilly. But yeah, I love collecting eyes. I like it almost as much as collecting dolls. Like, I wish I had a really cool display case for my eyes. That would be cool. Would you guys watch a video that is just like showing you all about my eyeball collection and what I love about it, and also some cool looking acrylic eyes? Like, I'm totally not comment fishing, but I really want to know, so put yes or no in the comments if you would like to see, if you would watch a video all about eyeballs. And then I will show you my very favorite eyeballs. So something else really cool and new is there's this new site, newish, called Only Reborns. And it was created by Casey Ward Goldberg, I think I'm saying that right, of Snuggabug Babies. I'll put the right words on top. So this is neat because this is a place to buy and sell dolls, but it is actually run by a Reborn artist, and she has been improving the site just constantly. Like, there are all kinds of improvements, and she is listening to what artists want in a site and making changes. So, like, when people said we want alternative dolls, she found a way, she made it so that you could have alternative dolls. And Bobby Barfoot had a really great idea for personalized QR codes that would take people directly to your nursery page on Only Reborns. So she made that. But the thing is, now I'm sure you've heard of Reborns.com. That's been the site we've mostly been using as artists. But the thing is, there are things we've been begging the owner for years. Things like being able to make sales and coupons with our listings, and especially being able to watermark our listings. And we've been asking for this stuff for years, and he just won't do it. And Casey is actually listening to us and actually doing those things. So on Only Reborns, you can have sales, you can have coupons, and you can sign your work, which is super important. And I'll tell you, it is not just about scammers stealing your photos. That is one thing. But really what it's about is people being able to find you from your pictures. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a post where somebody is searching for, who's the artist of this baby, and they are not able to find it because you didn't sign your work. You didn't put a watermark or a signature on it, and they can't find it. And you may not realize it, but people are taking screenshots all the time of babies they like, and they are all over Pinterest. And if you haven't put your logo or something on it, people won't find you. So, it would be ridiculous for someone who painted something on a canvas to not sign their work. So you need to be able to sign your work too. I use the Easy Watermark app. And Adobe Express has just a free space, like it's just a website that you can go on, and you just drag your picture on there and it gets rid of the background for you. I will put a link in the description so that you can see it. But that makes it really easy to get a transparent background on your logo, so you can use it as a watermark. But I just think this is like my favorite new thing in the Reborn community is this Only Reborn site. Because I have been super frustrated with Reborns.com and the not listening to artists and not allowing to watermark our work. The reason why Reborns.com got so popular is because every single time a potential collector asks in a group, like, where's a reputable place to buy Reborn dolls, we always put Reborns.com. I certainly did. And so we're giving him tons of advertising, which, it's fine. It's a fine site for some things, but I would just ask you guys that when people ask where's a reputable place to buy Reborns, that you also mention Only Reborns. So you can mention both Reborns.com and Only Reborns. actually bought a 1-year Premier membership, even though it's still kind of small, because I wanted to support the site. It was like, I think right now it's on sale for $100 for 1 year, so that's like $8 and something a month. And I mostly advertise my dolls on Facebook and Instagram, and so really I just needed a place to, you know, make photo albums of my dolls, to send people so that they can get the pricing and the descriptions, and also now be able to do coupons and sales, which will be fun. Haven't been able to do that before on the old site. So it's also cool to kind of see some of the community coming together around this site. So I just read that the owner of Irresistibles as well as Reborns are going to put like a flyer in every order, I think, that talks about only Reborns, which is great because what we need is to spread the word so that there's more, it'll be a much more valuable site as there are more artists and buyers who know about it and sign up for it. This is, yeah, something I really wanted for a long time. Alright, so I took a lunch for about an hour. This is all dry. And I don't think I'm going to use this brush because I think I filled it in pretty well with the triangle brush. And I don't know, the triangle brush is just, it just happens to be working for me today. So I think I'm going to continue with the triangle brush, and I mixed up a color with brown and more blue, so it's a lot darker. And what I will do with this is use it for gathering the hair. So you see how the hair is coming together, like right here. Where it gathers, I want it to be darker. I want it to be darker where it gathers. I could do that with a tiny brush, but I don't want to. I think it'll work fine with this brush and be way faster and more fun for me. Okay, now this is the first time I'm using this camera on a tutorial, so it has its problems, but I'm trying to make it work. This might be too dark. Let's see. So, yeah, I got to do my first prototype. It is Nikolas by Doris Moyers Hornbogen. And that was super fun because, like, you get this box with a doll in it that nobody else has painted before. So there's no other examples really to look at, to just come up with You have to just come up with your own interpretation. So I thought he would look good as a little brown baby, but I wasn't sure what ethnicity, so I asked Sue Ellen Taormina, and she was super helpful. She is the expert on that kind of thing and has made all kinds of different tutorials on her Patreon with different ethnicities. So we decided to make him a baby from India, and then I followed her tutorial on painting Indian babies. And I am really happy with how he turned out. For his hair, I wanted to do something really special, and I've always loved Lisbeth Devlin's rooting photos. Yeah, her hair was just inspiring to me, so I used that as an example to try and make it kind of like that wet just on top look. And then I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but Carola Carol's made custom eyes for me, resin eyes with a larger iris, which is what I was wanting. And I think the bigger iris gave him like a more babyish look, more of a newborn look. So that was cool. That was my first time trying her eyes, and they ship so fast. Like less than a week, I had them from Italy. It was so cool. But one thing I love about the kit is he has these really cute chubby thighs and really adorable little feet. Like, I think it's my favorite feet of any kit. They're just really well done, well sculpted. There's not like too many deep lines. The feet look really natural. And then one foot has curled over toes, so it is super cute. The pre-order is set for November 1st for pre-orders, and it's going to be a limited edition of only 325 kits. Alright, so I'm going to go over this with a skinny brush. Okay, so I have 3 skinny brushes that come in a set. I know they look frayed, but as soon as you get them wet, they have a point. And this one gives me my thinnest lines, the longest one. And then this one that, I'll show you what this looks like. This is the shortest one, and it doesn't give quite as thin lines, but it's better for making curves. So let's see. So if I wanted to do some curves, and really it doesn't have to be super skinny right here anyway, so do some curves. This. Curve around. Okay, I kind of, well, I would say messed that up, but I actually like how it looks. Some little flyaways there. Yeah, this is my favorite brush for doing flyaways, because if I want to do like a swoopy curve that goes like that, this is a good brush for that. Swoop around. This is also good for eyebrows. Look how weird and distorted this lens is. Okay, so for eyebrows, what I'll do, what I did is I made them kind of thick with a lighter color, and then I'm just going to go in the middle of the brows, and I'm going to add some little alligators. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with alligators, then you gotta watch my eyebrow tutorial. Add some little alligators. Nicely speaking alligators. And I'm gonna kind of keep the darker brows in the center of the brow. I'm not going to do any dark ones too high or too low. So that just adds a little bit of dimension to the brows. Have it darker in the center. Have these little baby alligators. Okay, see that? All right, so yeah, the last layer is usually going to be a skinny brush. So it kind of, the skinny brush kind of cleans up everything at the end. You know, makes everything a little nicer. But you know, you don't have to do a skinny brush for all the layers. You can if you want, if you love doing it. But that's not really my favorite thing to do. Okay. And let me show you around the swirl some of the things you can do with the skinny brush at the end. Is do some swoops to the side, some little flyaways. Got to make sure that you're starting in the right place, starting like there, and then you can swoop it. That one didn't turn out right. Erase. Okay, so I could do like a swoop here. It's kind of hard to see with the glare. I've tried all these different camera setups, and I'm still searching for just the right one. Now you'll notice I'm not going to take this dark color all the way to the swirl. I'm going to start it a little further out. Oh, that was a mess. Get rid of that. I'm going to start it a little further out from the swirl. so that the colors in the swirl start light and then get a little bit darker. I don't want anything too abrupt right at the swirl. Let's do a nice swoop there. Let's see, this looks like it could use a little definition. But the start of that line is a little too abrupt, so I'm going to just use this to kind of blend that. So there's different ways you can blend the starts of your lines. So like, let me show you. Let's say I did a line. I'm going to do it again. Let's say I make a line right like that. Okay, so the top of this line is just too abrupt. It starts too abruptly. So I could kind of pat the top of it with a sponge. That's one way I could do it to blend it in. I could take any kind of dry brush. I'm going to make another line. Abrupt line. I could take any kind of dry brush and just blend it that way. That's another way. Do another one. There again, it's really abrupt at the top. My favorite way is just to grab a microblading swab, and you can either make it very thin at the top. Oh, and there's another way too. Okay, let's do another one. Nope. Another way you could fix the abrupt top is by putting little feeder lines at the top. Thin feeder lines. That wasn't very good. Okay, abrupt start. Could come at it and just have it go off into thinner lines at the top. I'm going to erase all of that. It's not really part of the design. Alright, well, I'm going to take a break from this, see how it turned out, see how this camera setup works or does not work. So I've worked on him for a couple more hours, just filling in with the triangle brush. I actually went back to regular brown color because some of these lighter areas, like up here, they needed some texture. And what I'm going to try is add some darkness, but not all over, just in little places, just a few places where the hair gathers. I'm going to add some darker things, and then I'll add even darker spots to even less areas. So not all over, just in a few areas. But it is super hard for me to paint on camera with this camera, even though I know it's a lot clearer for you to see. So I'm just gonna have to explain best I can what I'm gonna do. That looks like it could, I might leave that as it is. It's already kind of dark. And then to go ahead and come back. Okay, so I've been working on this hair for a bit more. And you could see how I added a lot of dark places, not everywhere though. And adding the dark in just certain places helped it to kind of not be just all one color. So now what I'm gonna do is add in some little swoopy flyaways at the ends. Okay, so let's try following the hair direction where it comes here. Here's where the hair is going, and I'm gonna make it just swoop off a bit like that. It's kind of a long swoop. I think I will maybe make it a little shorter. Sometimes my hair is full of lots of swoops and sometimes not. Let's see. Okay, so let me show you on the side. So maybe this hair is gonna follow the direction, but then swoop off a little bit to the side. And then I could add a few more like that, kind of coming out this way, but always starting in the direction of the hair and then swooping to the side. But never just like, you know, never just randomly in the middle or like this, because you see that it needs to start in the hair direction. So it needs to start where we've already painted in the hair direction. Then you can swoop the ends. Sometimes I do a lot of these, sometimes I don't do very many. I don't know that this one needs too many, but just kind of showing you how to do it. You could do a little bit more on the top. This could be a little darker like that. You see, I darkened it, but I didn't go all the way to the end, so I left the end a little bit lighter. Get out of the glare to see that. Oh, look, some got on the ear. Okay. Not to worry, it needs a little bit of pressure and water. So I'll get a new thing, a new microblading swab, and pressure and water will take that off. It's because the paint underneath is sealed, that way it won't take off the paint. I always seal before I do hair and eyebrows for that reason, because you need to be able to erase some things. I'm also just kind of darkening certain spots. Okay, this looks like it could come out this way. Swoop. It's a little too thick. So, you know, at this point where I'm doing kind of the final touches. And being careful on each brush stroke, correcting them if needed. Thanks for joining me for a paint and chat.